Hey guys, today I'm filming a chit chat get ready with me using the items from my current spring Project 10 pan. If you guys have not seen any of those videos, I have my playlist linked up above. I will have my first update coming very soon, and I really want to do one of these videos for each and every project so I can show you me actually applying the products and how they all look together. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, and of course I will have to include other products. I will be starting with the Pixi Hydrating Milky Mist. I'm using this as a primer spray. I only have a couple uses left. And I kind of have to go to town with that one and get really close to my face because the nozzle is messed up. So for my actual face primer, I'll be going in with the Lancome Beige Pro Primer, which is in my project. And I'm going to apply this all over. And this is just a basic silicone primer, really similar to the Smashbox Photo Finish. I like it, but it doesn't do anything for my skin, and I know this is super expensive, so I wouldn't repurchase it. But this is also a great primer to use with my first impression follow-up videos. It's a really nice primer that works with really any foundation, but I do have to say that it doesn't work with every moisturizer. So when I use a more mattifying moisturizer, I find that this primer will pill up on my skin and then I'll just brush off the little pillings. So it doesn't work with every moisturizer, but I found that it works well with every foundation. It just glides on super easily. I like the way that it feels on my skin. Then for my pore filling primer, I'm using the Dr. Brandt Pores No More. I just finished up my Smashbox one, and this I've used, this will be my third time today, and it's a different consistency, but it works really well. So this has a nude tint to it like the Benefit Professional, but it is really smooth and thin, so I didn't really expect it to do much for pore filling, but it really does somehow, and it just looks super smooth whether I have foundation on or not. And usually I can only tell if it looks really smooth if I have foundation on. So I'm really impressed with this, and so far this works well with other moisturizers and primers. For foundation, I'll be using a combination. The first product is the CoverGirl Clean Matte BB Cream in 510 Fair. This is part of my current project pan, and this is too dark for me and it oxidizes, so I'm going to be mixing it with the Hard Candy Glamoflague Foundation in Porcelain just to lighten up the shade a bit. I usually mix these on a little palette, but I forgot it like always, so I'm just going to do it on the back of my hand. I love using squeeze tubes, but it's kind of hard for me to measure, where it's a lot easier to measure with a pump. So I'm just gonna get a decent amount of product and I'll go back in for more on the other side if need be. And then I'm gonna take about half a pump of the hard candy and just mixing these on the back of my hand. The CoverGirl is more of a moussey consistency, but once I really work the product in with the hard candy, the two formulas do mesh together. So I am just going to dot this all over my skin. So now that I have it dotted on half of my face, I'm going to go in with my Jessie's Girl blending sponge, which is a really great product, and I think the color is really pretty. So I'm just pressing this into my skin. This is a really nice foundation. I don't get why it's a BB cream because it doesn't have any skincare benefits or even SPF, but it does give some nice coverage, and it does hold up against oily skin decently well, but I cannot use this in the summer when I'm at my most oily, so the spring is just a good season for me. But if there's someone that has more normal combo skin looking for a matte finish, I think this would be a good product. I just wish they had more shades. CoverGirl foundations are always very dark and very pink on me, and they always oxidize. I don't understand why, but that has been true with every CoverGirl foundation that I've tried, which is such a bummer because there are formulas I know that I would love, but I just wish they had my shade and did not oxidize. So that right there was enough to get one good even coat all over, and I'm fine with this. A lot of times I'll build up a little bit more product, but this is just fine with me. But what I will do is take a little bit of my MAC ProLongwear Concealer in NC15, almost out of this. I'm going to pump some out and put it on my cheeks. I know Cherish posted a video on how to take off the top, but it looks really complicated and I don't have the tool that she used. But I get down to like a certain point and then have to just give up because it's just totally gone. But this is my favorite concealer for blemishes, to cover redness. It's good for under eyes as well, and it is my perfect shade match. And I'm so excited that this product and other MAC things are now sold at Ulta, so I can get some Ulta points on them. So then we are moving on to concealing. Of course, this is a multi-step process as well. My face routine always includes so many products and so many steps, but I don't mind doing it. So I have 2 shades of the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. I have the Brightener, which is a pink tone, and then I have the newest fair shade called Ivory. This is still too dark for me. The Maybelline Fit Me Concealer also added some new light and deep shades, and they have a shade that's light enough for me, but I don't love that formula. So freaking bummed by this that it's still too dark for me, but I can make it work because I will add in a little bit of the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer Cream in the whiteout shade to lighten it a bit, but it's such a bummer because I love this formula. So I am going to take a bit of the Brightener shade under my eyes, and I'm using this basically as a corrector. This is nice and light, so it does highlight for me, but it's just way, way too pink for my skin tone. Then while I'm letting that sit a bit, I'm going to go through my T-zone with the Ivory shade to highlight. I love the sponge on this. I know it grosses some people out, but it applies concealer so quickly and flawlessly, and this isn't a super full coverage, but it just looks so seamless on my skin. I love this formula so much. I'm so happy they added some deeper shades so a lot more people can use it. I'm going to take a little bit of Kat Von D and basically just do a little dab in each of those places where I applied the concealer. Then taking the pointed side of my Jesse's Girl sponge, I'm going to be blending out under my eyes. So whenever I film Chit Chat Get Ready With Me, I always wash my brushes the night before, which is awesome because I don't wash my brushes enough. But I have everything dirty already because I tried filming this the other day and it was just garbage. So I deleted it and I figured I would do it again. And then I'm going to take this side I use for foundation to blend out the center of my face. For some reason, whenever I blend concealer or other products on my nose, it always patches off. No matter what formula I'm using, that always happens, but foundation blends well. So I don't know why that happens. It's pretty weird. So then taking the Ivory shade, doing that upside down triangle. You do run through this kind of quickly though. I usually do 3 little dots on each side, like so. And then going back in with the sponge to blend it out. I'm really happy that Kat Von D makes a product like this. Also, I'm filming this a couple days before I'm posting this, but I just saw on ColourPop's Instagram that they are expanding the shade selection of their concealer to 30 shades, and they are including a pure white, which is amazing. I definitely want to get that to test it to see how it compares to the Kat Von D formula and opacity and everything. I would love to test that out for you guys, but I thought that was so exciting. And they included some really, really, really deep shades, so I'm really proud of ColourPop for doing that. And I did buy their concealer, but I haven't tested it yet, but I will be doing that soon in a video. But the thing is, now I have no idea what the old shades are in comparison to the new shades because they changed all of the names and numbers, so I'm pretty confused. So hopefully they can address that whenever this product goes live. They can say, you know, Fair 7, formerly this, or new shade. So hopefully they'll do that. We'll see. And who knows, maybe by the time I post this, they will have done that already. ColourPop bangs things out so quickly. It has so many collections. I don't even know how they can make so many dang products. So then to set my under eye concealer, I'm using the Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. I just have the little travel size, and I'm going to apply it with the Real Techniques Miracle Eraser Sponge. And the reason I'm not using this is because I'm going to use the back of this for loose setting powder all over my face, and I just don't want to use this for too many products because they do end up meshing together, even though I try to use all different sides of the sponge. So since I have these little mini sponges, they work perfectly for setting my under eyes. And I really love this powder. I think the e.l.f. under eye setting powder is good too. I need to buy that again and then do like one eye Laura Mercier and one eye e.l.f. to see what I think of it. And I'm happy I have this little size, but I don't know if I'm gonna buy it again afterwards because it is so expensive for just a powder, but the formula is amazing. And I have very oily under eyes, so this is not too drying for me. And next I have my complicated face powder routine. So in my project, I do have the Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin Powder, which does match me well, but in combination with the CoverGirl foundation, it's too dark. So I will go all over my face, set it with the NYC Smooth Skin Translucent Loose Powder. Then I will go over top with a dusting of this, and then the shade works out well because I'm not putting this on my wet skin. My wet skin is being set with this, and then a light dusting of this. And then if it's still looking a little bit too dark, I will go over top with the Rimmel #InstaFix and Matte Powder. It's supposed to be translucent, but it does give a white cast to my skin. So we'll see how the combination turns out today. Nobody needs to use as many products as I do, but it's just what I have to do to get colors and formulas to work for me. Like I said, I don't mind doing it. I'm just so used to being so complicated. So, messy. Loose powder is so messy. So dumping some of this into the cap. And then with my loose powder, I like applying it with a damp sponge. So I'm using the back end of this Jesse's Girl sponge. And I'm just going to press this into my skin. My favorite loose powder would be the Maybelline Fit Me powder. I think that one is amazing, but they don't have any translucent shades, so I like using this NYC one. And this was a gift from Erin's Makeup Euphoria. I don't think they sell NYC in the United States anymore. So now that I've set my skin with the translucent powder, I'll be going in with the Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin in 10 Porcelain, and that's what that looks like. And I'm gonna apply it with my Real Techniques powder brush, this really big, fluffy brush. And I'm just gonna press it on to my skin. And I really love the formula of this powder. It looks like you don't get a ton of product in here, but you actually do. You get more than what you get in the Maybelline Fit Me powders. And I think the coloring looks okay, but just in case, I'll take a little bit of the Rimmel powder using the same Real Techniques brush. And I'll just do a light dusting of this. Sometimes for this step, I'll wait until I apply all of my makeup, and if my face is looking a little bit dark, I'll go over with this to help lighten it a bit, because sometimes it does take a minute for it to oxidize. So now we're all done with complexion products, and I'm moving on to cheek products. I am absolutely loving the combination of products I've been using this spring. For bronzer, I'm using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the bronzer shade. I have a good amount of pan on this, but I've noticed that it's starting to get a little bit crumbly. So if you guys have ever repressed a butter bronzer, let me know what your experience was like. I'm used to repressing a ton of stuff, but for some reason I'm kind of worried about that formula. And I'm applying this with my e.l.f. stippling brush. If you have fair skin and you're afraid of bronzer, applying it with a stippling brush gives you so much more of a natural look. And I absolutely love this color on my skin, especially for the springtime. So I just apply that in the hollow of my cheeks and along my temples. Then for contour this spring, I'm using something new and I'm really liking it. It's a Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer, the medium deep shade, the middle color. And just taking a little bit of that on my Sigma F05 small contour brush. And for me, I just contour in the hollows of my cheeks because I am so fair. Anywhere else would look absolutely insane on me, and I don't mind having a pretty intense cheek. And this is such a beautiful color and it blends really well, and I absolutely love this brush. For blush, I'm using one of my absolute holy grails. This is theBalm Frat Boy, the most beautiful packaging and the best shade ever. It is a matte peachy pink color. I'm gonna apply it with my Sigma F15 Duo Fiber Brush, the best brush to use if you're using a very pigmented blush. I just like to put this on the back of my cheeks, taking whatever is left on the apples. I love the Real Techniques face brushes. I've tried one eye brush and I actually now use it for my face, but their face brushes are really amazing, and I love this one for blending cheek products. So for highlighter, I am going to be using another item from my project. This is actually an Anastasia eyeshadow from the Tamana palette in the shade Blush. It's a beautiful light champagne. I just repressed it last night, so it'll be easier to use. And I'm going to apply it on the top of my cheekbones with my Morphe M501 brush. And this is a really, really powdery shadow, and it is a little bit on the older side, but this color is very, very flattering on my cheeks. I'm so excited I decided to use this as a highlighter because I just never use champagnes on my eyes because I'm so fair. They don't show up on me beautiful metallic. They're a little too blah. So as a cheek highlight, it's absolutely perfect. So I just applied 2 layers on each side. To finish off my face, I'll be using my Pixi Makeup Fisting. Oh wow, I said fifths. Oh my gosh, I said fisting. Okay, I will be setting my face with the Pixi Makeup Fixing Mist. Yes, that's right. And this is in my makeup use up, so just giving this a little bit of a shake. I'm going to do my brows in one eye off camera. For my brows, I will be using the Benefit Kabrow pomade in the shade number 1. This is a little sample size. Then I will zoom you in to show you how I do the other eye. So I have already primed and set my eye. I use my Milani eyeshadow primer to set my brow bone. I like using a matte white, and my favorite, yes, there is a favorite, Matte Malloy from the Balm Meet Matte Nude palette. The formula of that is absolutely incredible. And then I set my crease with a matte cream, and I'm using another item from my project pan. This is the Dose of Colors Baked Browns palette, and I'm using the matte cream in Tea Light. I never set the primer on my lid because I want to leave that blank to help the eyeshadow really stick to that, because I'm not blending on my lid, I'm blending in my crease. So that is just the way that I like to go about setting my primer. So I like to start off with my blending shade, and I'm going to be using Makeup Geek Bake Sale. For my crease color, I'll be using Makeup Geek Tan Lines with my Morphe R39 brush, and I am just going to apply this in my crease and outer corner. And this one is just a little bit deeper than Bake Sale. And that is it for eyeshadow. Just keep it really simple. Then for my liner on my waterline, I have 2 items for my project pan. The ColourPop Cream Gel Liners in Zulu, which is the mint green, and Prance, which is the periwinkle blue. Today I will be using Zulu, which is the mint green, just twisting up a little tiny bit at a time and applying this right in my waterline. So I did not apply any liner on the top lash line. You could, but I choose not to keep this look a little bit more natural. For mascara, I use the Rimmel Lash Accelerator and the CoverGirl Clump Crusher. And then on my lips, I used my lip product for my project pan. This is the MAC Sheen Supreme Lipstick in Asian Flower, the most beautiful lavender. I absolutely love the way that this looks on my lips. I think it makes them look fuller, really healthy, shiny, juicy, and it's super comfortable, and I love this color. So guys, that was my Get Ready With Me using all of my project pan items. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.